This is an 800-pound robot vacuum. It mops, it washes its own mop, and it claims 20,000 pascals of suction when 4,000 is normal in the industry. Is it just marketing fluff or is it an actual beast? Let's find out. We are unboxing the Eufy Omni E25, and here's a stress test that you won't believe. Two parts that genuinely matter: the dock, which does most of the work, and the robo vacuum itself. This is the Omni Station. It's an absolute unit. It washes the mop with hot water, dries it with hot air, and it empties the dust so that you don't have to touch it for 75 days. This is the Omni E25. No hair tangles. If you have a pet or a partner with long hair, this is the holy grail. Setups click and go. Clean water tank fills from the tap. There's a second tank for the filthy water it pulls back off your floor, and that one gets grim. Remember it for later. Everything clicks together and it's ready to run. First run. Normally, this is where I dig into the app. It maps the room. You drop no-go zones, works with Alexa and Google. What I'm still chasing is proper Home Assistant control. More on that in the 100-day update. Next one, raw suction power. I scattered a proper mess, rice, oats, coffee grounds, across hard floor as well as carpet. Hard floor is easy. One pass and it's gone. Carpet is the real test because this is where cheap bots cheat. They skim over the top and leave the fine grit buried in the pile. This is where 20,000 Pascal really earns it. More suction pressure means it drags the fine stuff up out of the fibers instead of just combing the surface. The robot's own bin is tiny, just 300 ml, but here's the thing, you barely ever touch it because the dock empties it for you into a sealed 3-liter bag that lasts about 75 days. I did pop the bin out straight after this one before it could dock. It's roughly around 85 grams on the kitchen scale. Back on vacuum for the fiddly stuff. Round the chair legs, it tucks in within a couple of centimeters and treats them as something to hug, not headbutt. Edges and corners. The graveyard of cheap robot vacuums. A round robot physically cannot reach into a 90-degree corner, so dust just quietly builds up there forever. Eufy's answer is this little arm on the side, the CornerRover. Watch it. The moment it senses a corner, the brush physically swings out past the body of the robot and flicks the debris back into the suction path. It's a genuinely clever piece of engineering and weirdly satisfying to watch on a loop. Along the skirting boards and around the door frame, it hugs the edges and tracks it properly instead of feeling its way along and bumping off every few seconds. Is it flawless? No. A really deep corner still leaves a few crumbs, but it is the closest I've seen a robot get to actually cleaning an edge. This is where most robot vacuums completely fall apart because most of them just drag a flat damp pad along behind them. That doesn't clean a floor, it smears a thin layer of dirty water around and calls it mopping. The E25 does it properly. This is a roller mop, a spinning cylinder pressed down against the floor, so it's actively scrubbing rather than wiping, more like a tiny powered scrubber than a wet cloth. And here's the clever part. As it works, the roller is scraped clean around 120 times a minute and re-wet from the clean water tank with the dirty water pulled straight back off into the waste tank. So at no point is it ever cleaning with a dirty cloth. That one detail is the whole difference between this and a budget bot. Now the honest bit, I gave it a spill of water to deal with. Watch the edge versus the middle. It's not going to lift a stain that's been baked in for a week. This is not a steam mop and I'm not going to pretend that it is. But for the daily reality, footprints, splashes, dried in dust, paw prints by the back door, it genuinely cleans the floor instead of just redecorating it with grime. Quick aside on the brains, because this is where the price starts to show. Watch it find its own way home. No bouncing around the room, no getting wedged under the furniture. It maps the place on the first run and remembers it, so it's taking deliberate, tidy routes instead of the random pinball you get on the cheap ones. And it lines itself up on the dock first time, so navigation passed, but I wasn't finished with it, so I sent it straight back out for the one thing most robots are genuinely terrible at: mopping. Start cleaning. And this, honestly, more than the suction, is what sold me on the whole thing. It drives itself home and then services itself. It washes the roller mop, then dries it with heated air between 35 and 50 degrees so it doesn't sit damp and go musty in the dock. That last part matters more than it sounds because a mop left wet and dirty is exactly how you end up with that damp, moldy smell. This one puts itself away clean and dry, like the job never happened. Remember that second tank I told you to hold on to? This is it. This grey soup came off a floor that to my eye looked perfectly clean. That right there is the proof. It's lifting the stuff a normal mop just pushes around. And your entire job in all of this is just this: tip the dirty water out, top the clean water up. That's the trade off for basically never touching a mop again. So, 800 pounds, worth it? If you've got carpets, you hate mopping, or you want a genuine hands off experience, this is one of the best robot vacuums I've tested, no contest. But if you're in a fairly small flat with mostly hardwood floors, something a fifth of the price, like the Ultenic U20 that I tested last time around, will do you perfectly fine. I'm testing this one for a full 100 days, and after that, I'll tell you what clogs and what breaks. So subscribe for that. I'm Sid, I'll see you in the next one. What is happening, man?
Sorry, I thought you finished.